how many thank yous you have to say in a day. I have to meet my quota, which is 100 every single day. So if you're in front of me and I haven't said my thank yous and it's like 5 o'clock, I'm going to say all the thank yous. What's wrong with this guy? But, they talk about gratitude and fear. They don't sit in the same place.
This is powerful, man. This is such a powerful conversation. You're going to give value to so many people, and you already are. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Sawa.
Yes.
So you transitioned to Sawa.
Yes.
Is it called Sawa Academy?
It's Sawa Academy. Okay. Yes. So it was
one of the best schools in Embu at the time.
It's in Meru.
Meru.
Yes.
Meru.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So my dad's uncle is a district education officer. He was a district education officer for a small town called Siakago. So I think they go into their meetings and they have conversation, and he's told, hey, there's this really nice school that's performing really well in Meru. So my dad is like, oh yeah, leap of faith. We go in there. It's not the best of facilities, but education-wise, you're the best of the best. So it's a melting pot of people from all over the country. Actually, we had some guy from Ivory Coast. We had people from Rwanda. We had people from Ethiopia.
This is
87.
Oh, 87.
Yes,
okay.
We had teachers from Uganda. Yeah, Mr. Gogo, I forget the others. It was really, really a melting point for excellence in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
It was actually the director, the founder, is the one who was a whisperer to excellence. And I'll talk about that at some point. Because at one point when we were in class 8, she'd call each person and say, I believe in you.
Affirmation.
Yes, affirmation. I believe that you can go out there and change the world.
What?
And up to this day, she's still around. And I've told her I've given her credit for anything that I get to do is because of affirmation she gave me at that early age.
What's her name?
Judith Mokwanjero. Yes. Founder of Sawa Academy. I'm sure she'll type something over here.
Yeah.
This was one of my best students. The thing is, I wasn't the brightest.
Yeah.
But I was okay. But the thing is, I also learned how to connect with people. So everyone in that class, 57 of them, I knew them personally. Similar to Patch, when we end up in Patch, everyone that I knew in high school, I think 250 of us, I knew everyone in that class.
Bro.
Power of connection.
Yani.
Yes.
That So you go to boarding. I don't want to. Yeah. What's that transition like for you? So you leave Embu and go to Meru Sawa Academy.
Yes.
And Sawa Academy is a boarding school.
Yes.
Is it only boys or mixed?
It's mixed.
It's mixed.
It's mixed.
Okay, so tell me. Well, it's mixed.
Yes. Yes.
So like Patch.
Yes. Not like So great opportunity for me to go into a different environment. There were people who had a lot more money than we did. A lot more exposure than we did. There were people from, I think a big percentage of them were from Nairobi, Mombasa, other places in the country. So they came in with a different storyline than I did. As I'm coming in, I'm like, hey, nimetoka Embu. They're like, what the heck is that accent from? Nimetoka Embu. So, because we thought that was cool. And then all of a sudden we had to be refined into the new environment. And that's the story of my life. Every environment that I end up learning from the best of the best in that environment. So transition was great, not the easiest. Visiting day second time would be after 8 weeks or 9 weeks. So you haven't seen your parents, you haven't seen anyone. And maybe they come in for 2-3 hours and that's it. So it was rough at the beginning, but I started loving it.
What kind of responsibilities do you have at that place? Are you washing your own clothes or not? Or it's that kind of, it's not a group of schools, but it's next tier.
Yes. It was the best survival school environment that I ever learned. You'd wash your own clothes, you do your duties in the morning, you do every single thing for yourself.
Okay.
Yes. So it taught a lot of independence and resiliency. It was rough. I wouldn't lie about that. Half the time we didn't have electricity. We have a generator that would kind of like go off at some point, then we'd have to go sleep, then wake up in the morning with candles. But the thing is, you learned how to survive in the environment. Because I knew at the end, I'll go to Patch, that has a swimming pool and a shooting range. So I was like, I want to go to that school. You know.
Why Patch? Why not I went to Alliance?
It's a high-cost national school. And
who had told you about Patch before that? No, you can have it, but you can if you want water.
Yeah. So Mudavadi was in Patch. And he taught gentlemen. J.J. Masiga was in Patch. You could see how they carried themselves. There's a finesse of how people carry themselves in Patch. There is, you know, just ask anyone.
Okay.
Yes.
I've had a couple of people in this on CTA who are from Patch. Joram Winamo, a couple of other people.
Yes.
But at this time, so how have you heard of Mudavadi, or are you watching TV now?
So at that point, we're watching TV,
okay.
and we're hearing about, you know, Nairobi School. We're hearing about Alliance, Mangu. Mangu had aviation, so that was a choice. But the best of the best went to Mangu. Like it was a index 1 to index 57. I wasn't the top index 1 to 5. So index 1 to 5, they had a play on it. They would do either Mangu, they would do Alliance. You know, the founder then said, "Hey, Alex, I think you're best placed in Nairobi School or Lenana or Maseno."
Nice.
So usually it's very strategic in terms of choosing the schools.
Okay.
And I was like, Nairobi School all the way.
Okay. Were you, first of all, I got called to Mangu. I didn't go.
Okay, wow. You see?
Are you a clever student at this time?
Yes. So by the time I get to class 8, I'm clever. Yes.
And what are you gravitating to? Or at this time, it's class 8. It sounds like your goal in primary is to get to Mangu. Patch.
Yes,
sorry.
yes. To get to a national school.
Yes, to get.
Yeah. So what used to happen back then is that you'd all be in the newspaper. I think there would be center page, and they would have your name and what school you went to. So it was prestigious. I was like, hey, I want to get on the newspaper, and it says a national school.
Yeah.
So my goal was that at some point.
Okay.
But also it was very competitive school. One thing that I've always done is I've always looked at the best person in something and wanted to be that person. And I study them. So at the beginning, you know, class 6, 7, actually class 5, 6, breakdancing was a big thing. So there's a guy called Ken Kibanga. He was really good in breakdancing, really, really good in, and I think there was Timothy Njenga. He was really good in breakdancing. So I always wanted to be like them, you know. So breakdancing was a big thing for me at that point. And then it got to class 6, 7, 8 towards the end. You know, the most important thing to be is smart. Because you needed to be index 1 through something to be in the best class.
Yeah.
So I focused on school as much more.
So now you gravitated to the guys who are smart.
Yes, yes.
And
my desk mate was index 1, rest his soul in peace, a guy called Maurice Isika who went to Mangu. Yes. So I've always wanted to sit down next to someone who's smarter than me or who's better than me at something so that I can be able to learn from them.
Okay. What index were you? Were you index 2, 3?
Index 20.
How on earth does an index 20 sit next to index 1? I'm trying to figure out what are the skill sets that you applied for you to get that access.
I have to finagle my way through. How do I get to sit next to this person? What do I offer him that he needs that I have? Whatever level of access. In this case, I think Maurice Isika was, he was very, very smart, but he didn't have candles to study and stuff like that. You know, so I'd provide the candles that he needed. So we would go study with him in the morning.
So now, you guys, you're sharp. I mean,
it's just, I think it's human nature, that power of connecting the dots.
Yeah, but what you've said is not obvious to so many people, and I want you to repeat it. I'll repeat it, and then you just fafanua, expound on it. You said you figure out what this guy wants. Okay, why I say this is I get a lot of phone calls of asks.
Yes.
But your approach was different.
Yes.
You're like, what does this guy want that I have that I can offer him?
Yes.
And in the process, then get what you want.
Yes. In any networking environment, there's the power of reciprocity. With Joroge, the Uber driver, one of the things he said, hey, it's very hard to live here with this kind of salary. We're not making anything. Or I have my kids in high school, I have to do this. I was like, this guy is a connect right here. What he's looking for is for something that I can actually offer him right now and change his life. So it's the same thing in life. There's an aspect of reciprocity.
Did you give him something today?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. More than what I paid for the Uber. Yes. But it's not to say that just to toot my horn.
I know, I get it.
But it's, hey, we made a genuine connection. And again, when you go to the States, those are the jobs that you do at the beginning. So I feel where he's coming from.
That word that you've used. Yeah. The political climate currently is, I love it. There's a lot of shaking that's happening. But if you listen to what that generation is saying,
yes,
they're talking about you don't feel what it is that we don't feel like you feel us.
Yes.
And that generation can't seem to understand a thing because they're using the word feel, and that generation doesn't deal with that emotions.
Yes.
But what have you just said here?
Yes.
Connection has to do with
reciprocity. There has to be reciprocity in life. It doesn't have to be every time, but sometimes, meet someone at the point of need. Hey, connect with them. What can I offer you genuinely that you need at this point? Maybe access to my network. Yeah, maybe it's access, and maybe it's just opening up your eyes and just letting you know, hey, there's something better out there. People are doing a little bit better than you are. Maybe this is something that, yes, you need to have on your vision board. Maybe just affirming what your vision is. That's the most important thing. Sometimes it's not about, I'll give you money, it's just, hey, genuine connection with a person. How can I be able to open up your eyes a little bit? How can I be able to make your life better because I'm here?
And it's not manipulative.
It's not manipulative in any way. There are times that there's no connection at that point, but you're like, hey, that's fine.
And sometimes it's one way. You give.
Yes.
It's not coming back.
Yes. You're just depositing. Good deeds always come back and pay you. If it's not you, it's for your kids and kids. So I'm always depositing. There's a book I was reading about gratitude. How many thank yous you have to say in a day. I have to meet my quota, which is 100 every single day. So if you're in front of me and I haven't said my thank yous and it's like 5 o'clock, I'm going to say all the thank yous. What's wrong with this guy? But they talk about gratitude and fear. They don't sit in the same place. If I fear something, if I'm grateful, it overrides the fear in you. So just be grateful that you're here.
This city is so good. We're going to take a stop right here. You need to share this one with as many people because we're coming back and we're going to move this thing most. I promise you this one is going to change so many people's lives. Even I didn't understand the impact of the conversation that we're going to have. So I'm going to take a moment to stop right here because this one you need to share with many people. We'll be back in a sec.
Yeah.